Okay, folks, welcome back. Um, I haven't flipped the bar down yet, as you can see. Whoops, swing it back around and then close your eyes, swing back. Okay. I've gotten down to, remember last time I mentioned there were some spots that needed to be addressed, but I wasn't going to sand them out and re-epoxy. I was going to flatten them down and um, polish them back up to match the luster of everything else. So I thought before I flip the bar down, I'd do that today. And I spent some time on that this morning, sanding those things out. But as it happens, when you get down to the finest stuff, you start to see little scratches that you missed because you can't see it with the coarser fine paper. So I thought I'd walk you through how this process goes because this is a little bit tedious. This will be a precursor because when I get near the end, I'll be doing a bunch of this and it takes time, but this is what makes the difference in a really pretty top. So let me show you the materials here. First off, we start with, this is regular 320 sandpaper. Get it wherever you like. Once I go through with that, I switch to, this is 800, and it's a very fine stuff. It's almost like coarse paper rather than sandpaper. Then I go to 1,000, then I go to 2,000, and lastly I finish up with 3,000. Now, from the 800 up to the 3,000, I do those wet, which means I put some water on the sandpaper and it helps to get the little particles that you sand off. It releases those and it doesn't clog the paper up. Then from there, I will switch to a product called Novus, which comes in 3 steps, and it goes 3, 2, 1. The first one is a heavy scratch remover. I don't know if that focuses or not. And then you clean that off, and you go down to the fine scratch remover, and you cover all that stuff and get out everything you can that's left. And then you go down to the clean and shine, which is the last thing you want to do, and get that gloss up. So that's what we're going to do. I already have those materials set out by the bar there, and I'm going to put you on pause, reset the camera, and we'll pick it up right where the work begins. Okay, we're back. I apologize for the tight shot, but at least you won't be able to see too much of my face, so there's a benefit to that. I wanted you to be able to see the blurry spot here. What I could not get to come up is the tiny little scratches, because we are talking very fine scratches. And they're circular in nature and hard to see. I have to get the light just right, bend my head just right. So I'm gonna start with, I've got some water here. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I dip that in there a little bit, and I'm trying to get this smoothed out. Once you hit with the 320 will camouflage those scratches up, and they're very hard to see until you get down to a finer paper. So I can't tell. It looks like I already got them out. So we're going to jump right through this. That'll be good. I won't bore you to tears. These are the tedious little things that take a long time when you do this kind of work. But being able to make adjustments is the difference between having a really beautiful piece and just a nice piece. Again, I've already gone over all of these, but since I hit it with the 320, I've got to go back and do it again, and then I wipe that grit off, give it a look. Yeah, those circular swirls went away. So that was the 800. Now I'm going up to 1,000. You see, this doesn't take too long on this stuff, but when you have to go over the whole bar, or all the way around all the edges, it can take quite a while, and you get hand cramps and whatnot. So that's the 1,000 grit. And I should have mentioned you can get this pretty much anywhere. I'd like to do a little better with that 1,000. Because I don't use a lot of this, small pack lasts me a long time. I just get it at Home Depot. The Nova stuff I had to order online. I actually have bigger bottles. The last table I did for the same client, ironically. I started with the small pack that I just showed you, and was afraid I would run out. And when I saw how well it worked, I ordered a larger kit. Comes with some wiping material that's like a gauzy paper towel. You can use that, or you can use your own rags, whatever you like. And this is just a small spot, so it goes pretty fast. And yeah, oops. At this point, a fingerprint. Really stands out like a sore thumb. No pun intended. Doc would have liked that one. Maybe he'll see this sometime. So anyway, I am now up to the 3,000. And yeah, this is fascinating stuff, isn't it? I bet you this gets almost 10 views. But I don't care, that's not why I do it. And all those swirly marks, you gotta trust me here, guys. All those swirly marks are gone. Bufferino with the cloth so I can see it better. Oh yeah, ho 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 ho. All right, let me go, forgot to bring over the polish and stuff. So here we go. Now with this material, I don't want to mix up my grits. That is contaminate one with the next. So what I do is I have a small, I think you can see this, small towel thing. Seem to have lost one. I had 3. My apologies there for the faux pas. So now I got one of each. So I start with the number 3, which is a heavy scratch remover. And again, this is small work. And just put a little bit. Hopefully you can see this because I'm guessing where the camera is. Shake this up a little bit. There we go. And there's just a tiny bit. And that's a lot more than I need. Spread it out a little bit. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do a slightly bigger area because all of this other stuff is already sanded down. I still have to do one on the other end, but right now I'm just trying to do this area I'm showing you. I'll do the other end in a little while. And I run a little bit past my sanding area to make sure everything blends in nice. And that came up fairly good. Corners are tough with these little cloths. Try and wipe all the residual grit off. That's it. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So that's number 3. Close that up. Always close your stuff so if you knock it over, it doesn't spill on the floor. Think about it. Price per gallon for these little things is not cheap. Oops, that's the wrong one. I need number 2. There we go, number 2. Knew that sounded kind of liquidy. A little more. Seems like the end of this thing dried out. All right. I'll fix that cap later. There we go, that's all I need. Just a little drop. Oh yeah, plenty. Spread that out first. There we go. Whoops. Even ran a little bit. All right, we'll just pick that up. Now my sanding marks should pretty much all be gone. So I'm going a little bit more random in my rubbing pattern. Again, when you buy this stuff and try it out, as we used to say in custom service, RTFM, read the flipping manual, follow the instructions, and do what the manufacturer says before you complain that it don't work for you. There we go. More on this edge because I didn't get that very well before. There we go. A little randomness here. Yeah, it's a fair amount of work, but somebody's got to do it. Take my rag and wipe that residue off again. There we go. Yeah, now this is starting to shine up pretty well. I don't know how it looks from your view. If you can still see that haze that was there before, it's probably not as much, just a tiny bit. And now we're down to the last one. And as I said, the finer you work, the easier it is to see teeny weeny imperfections. This you have to use a little bit more of because it soaks in the cloth. This is a polish cleaner. Any remaining residue will get removed with this, and it'll bring that luster up. And I may have to do some of these steps over again as I see minor things that I don't like, and I change the lighting. Lighting is very critical here. Dang near impossible to get this to come up right on the video, but there you go. Look at that. That was all sanded rough, and sometimes you got to be pretty vigorous, and believe it or not, for tiny little cloths with a tiny little amount of stuff on it, you got to rub pretty hard. You got to want it. Imagine doing a whole table with this. Well, I have. There we go. My edge blend could be a little better, but you can see how nice that comes up. And I did that without reapplying the any epoxy. It's all just, you know, so I sanded that epoxy down to make it smooth. And yeah, I still got a little stuff there, but comes out much nicer. See if I can change your perspective on things here. It does look, here, I'll just take the camera off of here and freehand it. Mind the squeaks. So there you go. Little bit of haze there. I'll have to go over. This is why I won't video the whole thing. But you can see the reflection is pretty true to form. I can't even see from where I am how this piece came out, but it looks pretty good. Again, that light really is deceiving. This might be a little better. If it'll focus. There we go. There we go. Maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. But anyway, that's that. So there's a short episode. What are we up to? 9 or something like that? You all be good. Come back next time. See you later. Bye bye. Well, here's an add-on. So, I just remembered before I even go start to edit this video and editing, that's a euphemism for trying to put it together and get it up there for people to see. I had forgotten to mention something. If you have a discriminating eye and look very carefully at that video near the end when I showed you the results of what we accomplished here, you notice there was still some haze in there. What I neglected to mention, because I won't be doing this for a long time, is that after all of what you saw today, the additional steps are putting polishing compound on, and then a nice high quality wax on top of that to smooth everything out. And that will blend all of those little hazy sections and whatnot together just beautifully. But I don't do that until everything else is done, all the shapes are sanded in, all the corners and the bumps are removed, and everything is nice and smoothed out. And then I start working through the whole top with the process I just showed you. I do the shaping and the cleaning up with either a random orbital sander, or sometimes I have to use a belt sander, bring it down, and then put another coat on, then go to the random orbital sander, work my way down to 320 with that, and then pick up with 320 by hand and work my way down through all those grits. The wet process certainly makes the sanding go easier. Doing it dry is a little rough on the hands. It takes a lot less energy when there's a lubricant such as water in there to make that go smoother. So I just wanted to add that in and let you know it's not done yet, but that gets me to a really good state where I know it's gonna come up good, because I can see if there's any very fine scratches in there. If I get it down to where there's no fine scratches or anything like that, the last couple of steps will finish it up just fine. And I'll be over those edges again, guaranteed, during the rest of the finishing process. I just wanted to give you that little minute detail. There'll be hours and hours of me doing this process to get this bar finished. So with that, I will see you in the next episode, and hope you all stay well. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.